Hello everyone, it is the Gaming Weazel back again with another video. And in today's video, as you can see by the title, we're going to be covering the Monkey King, Wukong Prime. Now, not mostly covering him in a sense, I'm mostly going to be talking about the Warframe itself. Now, I personally use Wukong a lot, and I mean a lot. Now, a lot of people, if you have been, active when the 8-year Warframe anniversary was here, you might have realized that there was a little stat thing that you could check out on a global scale of most used Warframes, weapons, and so on and so forth. Now, one, if not the top most used Warframe, was Wukong Prime, and Wukong, of course. Now you might be asking, why is that? And sort of that's going to be covering in this video, and why I prefer Wukong, just to use him in sort of any gameplay that I really need to. Now, a lot of people love Wukong because his kit is sort of versatile. Most of his abilities are very useful. They synchronize sort of well with each other, synchronize in a really lightly sense of the word. And yeah, the way you obtain ordinary Wukong is going to be pretty simple, and he's one of the easiest Warframes to get alongside Volt, Banshee, and Nezha. And you can get him just by going to the Talon Lab inside of your dojo, and that's basically it. That's how you get ordinary Wukong. Wukong Prime is, of course, grind it out just by playing the game. Now, let's talk about abilities, and then let's talk about why I consider him so good, and I personally think why a lot of people consider him that good. Now, Wukong's passive is that when he receives fatal damage 3 times, he can not die. 3 times, of course, keep that in mind. And then he will get invulnerable for 2 seconds, restore 50% of his HP, and then provide a unique buff. Now, the buffs go such as Primal Forces, which will give you 300% elemental damage for 60 seconds, Heavenly Cloak, invisibility for 60 seconds, which is okay, and Cosmic Armor, invulnerable for 30 seconds, and then Monkey Luck, which will enemies killed yield extra loot drops for 60 seconds. We have Psi Alchemy, which orbs grant 4 times more effective for 60 seconds. Now, that's his passive. His abilities go such as Celestial Twin. For Celestial Twin, we have you shed the part of yourself. Wukong creates a twin to fight by his side, attack at range, and the twin will melee, pull a blade, and the twin will lay down covering fire. Use again to command the twin to attack a target with increased damage. So that is very, very nice. It costs 0 energy to cast. You have a health multiplier up to 2 times depending on your power strength, and power strength is decently needed on Wukong. And then of course we have his damage multiplier, which is 2 times on his weapons. And believe me, I honestly think this is one of the best AI characters or abilities inside of Warframe. He actually kills stuff because, for example, let's say you're using the Tenant Envoy. It's not going to be a nerfed version of the Tenant Envoy. Alongside the 2-time damage multiplier that this ability gets, you also get the full capabilities of your Tenant Envoy, Kuva Brahma, Ignis Wraith, etc., whichever weapon you prefer. And so that's very, very nice. Cloudwalker, one of the best abilities inside of the game, in my opinion. You turn to a cloud and you pass through the battlefield with ease. If you put on some speed mods, which won't really increase a lot, but your base is 30 meters per second, and I think it stays at 30 meters per second. The duration is quite low, but the travel speed is very, very fast, and you get 100% status clearance on cast. You get a 2-second stun duration. If you land next to an enemy, he will get staggered. And also the main part of this ability, which is getting your health back. Your health can go up to 1% per meter traveled, which is very good. So you can just travel around circles and then, you know, get a lot of health back. You will see me using this in that survival part when we actually come to it. As you can see in the gameplay, I'm mostly utilizing him in the missions. He is very useful, and of course I'll talk about that in a second. Defy. Him and his twin become invulnerable. They stack up damage slowly but surely, or actually depends mostly on the power strength of the enemies, or I guess the level of the enemies. Now, the minimum armor that you get from this, and you do get armor, is 50. The maximum is 1,500. The staff swing radius, sorry, is 12 meters and maximum. Now, this means when you go invulnerable, you know, when you soak up all the damage after a couple of seconds, depending on your duration, you will turn around and swing, and then the damage is of course equivalent to the damage that you've taken, and the damage multiplier is equivalent to your power strength. So very good ability. Now, the ability that's the least useful is going to be Primal Fury. This will summon his Iron Staff, and then you will drain energy, of course, by using it, but you will damage enemies. Now, it is a separately moddable weapon, but I would honestly prefer using my own melee weapons instead of the Primal Fury ability or the Primal Staff. Now, it can be good. I'm not saying it's not. The one that I'm using is unmodded. I'm gonna be fighting level 121 Greniers on, of course, Steel Path, and I still kill them for pretty much the same ease as I do with my Namaskila Primes. Now, that's the Warframe in it of itself, his abilities, and why I think that, you know, he's a pretty good Warframe. Now, we're gonna be talking about where he's useful, why a lot of people use him, and why do I like him so much. Now, Wukong Prime and Wukong, of course, can be used in a decent assortment of mission types. Now, the ones that I don't really prefer you use him in is going to be defense missions. He's not very useful there. Of course, interception is sort of like a 50-50. There are definitely better Warframes to use in those missions, but he can be pretty good to fast traveling, I guess, with his Cloudwalker, of course. And you'll hear a lot about Cloudwalker in this video. Traveling between points and killing enemies. The only downside is that he doesn't have any damage multiplying abilities, but he sort of doesn't need to, really. If you pick up a good weapon, a primary and a melee, you're pretty much set and you can kill anything nonetheless, so you don't have to worry about that. His Primal Fury, as I said, can be modded for a very good damage output, but sadly I didn't. The build that you maybe saw on screen or you see right now is the build that I'm using. It definitely can be perfected. I will be putting on 2 Umbral Forma on him and of course increasing, you know, his health in general and his armor with, of course, you know, Umbral mod, the trifecta of Umbral mods. Now, talking about the, I guess, missions that he's good at. Capture. You saw me play capture in the previous parts of the video, and of course you're hearing about it now. Capture, if you're running solo, if you're running with a team, if you set up a good team with, for example, even Goss and let's say 3 Wukongs or something like that, you're pretty much set to do missions around 2 minutes maximum. I mean maximum. That's rarely gonna happen, especially with 2 Gosses, or for example a Volt, or for example a Wisp. It is going to be something much different. He can travel very fast distances. I think even the hitbox kind of becomes a little bit smaller. You can get stuck on boxes and stuff like that, but rarely doesn't happen. I mean, I say rarely, yet you're probably gonna see me get stuck a lot on boxes in videos. But he is very good for doing efficient fisher missions. He is very fun to use. Then survival. Of course, survivability is one of his stronger suits. He's a very good Warframe for that. He's very survivable with 1,500 armor plus the armor that he already has, and plus the HP pool that he has alongside a good weapon. You're pretty much set. You can survive anything that you want. Use Cloudwalker to gain health back, use Defy to gain armor back, and of course his passive allows you to die 3 times before dying permanently. So yeah. Then alongside that, spy missions are an ease with Wukong. I always used to use Loki for spy missions, but Wukong is very great. Using Wukong for spy missions, plus it's fast because of Cloudwalker, and Cloudwalker can pass through lasers. He can pass through lasers without triggering any alarm. Of course, he can pass through cameras as well, not get detected. That's really cool. But of course, if you exit Cloudwalker and you get detected, yeah, you're, out of Cloudwalker. So yeah, you're kind of effed up there. But in sortie missions, using Wukong for spy missions is a guaranteed success. So spy missions are very great in that aspect as well. Other missions that I find are important, rescue is going to be very good because you can reach the end point a lot faster with Wukong. Because, for example, with Gauss, you can run fast with Volt as well. You can run fast, but you need to, traverse fast as well. With Wukong, all you need to do is just float around with Cloudwalker, and that's pretty much it. And you're, done and dusted. You don't really have to worry about anything. Your rescue target is not gonna die because you're gonna go so far away from him that he's actually gonna teleport towards you. So you're gonna be pretty much set for that, and very good at rescue missions as well. So that is sort of the main mission types that you're going to play anyway. So I would want to really cut disruption because you're rarely going to play disruption. If you never know, you play disruption every single day for like the whole of your Warframe gameplay, but it is all really dependent. But that's why I think that Wukong is one of the best frames inside of the game. He's well balanced, he's a decent frame, he can survive, he can be used in decent sums of missions as well. He's very versatile. In my opinion, a very good jack of all trades Warframe. Nothing really to buff his damage in a sense, but nonetheless, the helmet system is here, and you can always just use that, apply Warcry, or even Roar maybe, and then pretty much you're set, done and dusted. And that's been it. That's been my Wukong video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, leave a like, a comment, and subscribe for more content, and I will see you guys on the next one. The Gaming Weazel over and out.